anxiety, fear, worry. We have all felt these feelings for at least one thing in our lives, and for me, I have the fear of public speaking. As someone who struggles with this issue and has dealt with it for almost their entire life, I want to share my experience and how I plan to move forward and combat against it. The information I'll be sharing comes from different sources, some of those being from my personal experience and the others coming from articles I found out from the internet and the Chaffey Library. So, why am I here? As stated before, I'm here to inform my class about the fear of public speaking. I'll first talk about my experience, then I'll talk about how to know if you have this fear, and last I'll talk about finding a solution. So as we dive into this topic, I want to give a little more context on why I chose it. Starting with my experience with this fear, I want to start with a quote from Dr. Theo Sosides in their 2017 article on psychologytoday.com. Fear of public speaking is very common, affecting about 25% of people. So this means every 1 in 4 people will deal with this issue, which means I must have pretty good luck winning with those odds. So this issue has affected me almost my entire life, and it comes into play as you would expect when I talk in front of big crowds of people. And when I say almost my entire life, I think it really started to pick up when I started school, and as I progressed and we started doing more presentations in middle school, as we started to do debates, and even with the group projects when I worked together with people, even then, I still felt this fear. So that's mainly where I do believe it picked up, was in middle school, and then it just progressively got worse and worse, in my opinion. So that's a brief backstory on the current issue I'm dealing with right now. But now I would like to talk about other students like me and how they can tell if they have this fear. So, how can someone tell if they have a fear? As I stated before, 1 out of 4 people are most likely going to be affected by this. So how do you know if you have it? I would say the best way to tell is through experience. Just try to talk in front of a big group of people. So by now, if you're able to talk in front of the crowd comfortably, no issues, then congratulations, you probably don't have this fear. If you weren't comfortable at all, then we are alike. You've probably experienced your hands trembling or shaking, your voice trembling, and even felt lost at times, like your mind was blank. So why does this happen? A unique view about this said by Sarah Gershman. We need to go way back into prehistoric times when human perceived eyes watching us as an existential threat. Those eyes were likely predators. She describes stage fright as being watched by predators, and we are the prey, like we are being hunted. And this is probably one of the most unique ways I've seen someone describe this fear. And I think looking back when I was younger, I do definitely think younger me probably thought like this, which might sound crazy to say. As we talk more about this fear and its problems that come bundled with it, I will now talk about solutions to conquer your fear. So, how can someone face their fear? According to Linda Shaw's article, one of the key ways to overcome stage fright, formerly known as glossophobia, is through practice and visualization of conquering your fear. What this means in simple terms, or a simple word, is to practice. So knowing what gives you anxiety, practicing speeches or any type of form of public speaking can help you perform at your best. Rehearsing can help your brain not feel lost at times. And of course, if you rehearse in front of your family, a big group of friends, I would highly recommend it. since rehearsing in front of people can help you get over your fear with big crowds when speaking. So it's like knocking two birds with one stone. As Erwin Bevan says, fear is a language, and when you understand what fear says, how it cuts you down, and how it holds you back, you can find the words, ideas, and actions to overcome it. So finding what works most for you is important. Since some methods aren't for everyone, but I do think it's best to experiment with all the methods and get out of your comfort zone, since this is what it's all about: facing your fears, becoming comfortable with the things you weren't before. So as I begin to wrap up on finding solutions, I will now share my closing words. I hope I was able to inform you on the fear of public speaking, knowing your situation, and finding a solution. Also, thank you for allowing me to share my experience with you all. If you struggle with a problem, I encourage you to keep fighting against it. I hope the next time you hear from me, I appear a lot more confident as a speaker. But we are human. We have to get used to things before we become experts.